Ignite, sparked by BBB, where conversations are taking place to change the future.
Hello everybody, welcome back to BBB Sharing. This is Joshua, and today I have Kieran Segaloff with Fingerprint Photo Studios. How are you?
Doing great, how are you?
I'm doing all right. It's been pretty fun today, so I hope your day's going well.
Definitely is, happy to be here.
Good, so tell me a little bit about you. What do you do?
So I'm Kieran, and I am the owner and lead photographer at Fingerprint Photo Studio, which is a wedding and portrait studio dedicated to promoting inclusivity and diversity. So I've had over 10 years of experience in photography, but only switched into wedding photography a few years ago before going full-time. It's been a great journey. I've met so many lovely people. The clients really are what make it all worth it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. When you started this, did anything change between like when you started to like what it is now and how it's grown?
Definitely. So I kind of fell in love with wedding photography when my brother asked me to photograph his elopement. He wanted to keep it to like immediate family only, very small. Kieran, can you take a few pictures? And I was like, that's not how this works. And I did end up doing it, and it was quite fun. And I realized how absolutely special that moment is. And I come from a photojournalism background, and seeing the beautiful moments between a couple as they're getting married and like that kind of transformation that happens was just beautiful. And that is when I started to really focus on wedding photography, couples, romance, and really diving into that. And when I started my business, it really came on the heels of realization that there are a lot of wedding photographers out there who cater to one specific type of person. And if you look at their portfolio, there's one type of person all through it. And like, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. That's just not how I am. So I wanted to be able to create a platform for people of all kinds, all races, ethnicities, religions, to be able to feel comfortable and celebrated. As a queer person, I found that throughout history, a lot of our love stories are very easily erased and overlooked, and they were roommates. And so part of why I do this is kind of preserving that legacy, so that people and their grandchildren can all look back and see, wow, this was beautiful, and they were in love.
Wow. Do you have one that really stands out to you?
So in November, one of my wedding clients reached out to me and said that they were going to elope. They were like, with the way that the world is going, we're gonna elope now and have our wedding still in April and just go with that. Can you turn our engagement photo shoot into an elopement photo shoot? And I was like, yes, of course, like, let's make this happen. And so we found a tiny little church in Roanoke that did queer elopements, and they got all dressed up. They grabbed a bouquet of flowers from Wegmans, and we drove out there. And at first, I think they were both a little nervous that it wouldn't be very romantic. It was all kind of all of a sudden, like they were just like, they've been together forever. They knew they were going to get married, but they were like, guess we're doing this. Yeah, and it was one of the most romantic moments I've ever witnessed. And it was just the two of them, the officiant's husband who was doing the music, and me, all in this tiny church. And it really shows that it's not about the location or the venue or the flowers or the whole big grand to-do, but really just about the two people who are there in the moment. And that really kind of embodied capturing love for me.
So is an elopement an engagement or a wedding ceremony? Is that something different?
An elopement is typically a wedding ceremony that is either like just the couple or like just the couple and like immediate family. It's just very small.
Oh, okay. Just like a very personal.
Yeah, so I'd say that typically like an elopement is planned quicker and requires a lot less planning, which could be very nice. I love weddings and I love elopements. I find that they both have their pros and cons, and that I've learned so much about wedding planning since becoming a wedding photographer. It's been fascinating.
Wow. What are some things that you think about when you get that call? And then kind of walk me through like your process.
Absolutely. So first, people reach out via my website. I have a contact form and they submit the initial inquiry, and then we set up a consultation call I think it's really important to get to know a wedding client before you photograph them on like their big day, because like that is such an important moment. You have to make sure that you're the right fit for them and they're the right fit for you, and it'll all go well. And on that call, we kind of talk about what they're looking for. We talk about how they met. I kind of get the full rundown of their romance story. And then from there, we go into wedding details. How many guests are you going to have? What kind of event is this going to be? And I work with them to create kind of like the best package for them. And I always include an engagement shoot, even for my elopement couples, because I think that it's really important to get to know your wedding photographer prior to the day of, because I spend so much time with my couples. From the moment they start getting ready all the way till the end of the night, I'm there. And it's really fun.
Okay. Has anyone kind of talked to you about like taking pictures like during the process of the wedding and also the wedding at the same time?
Yeah. The way it kind of works is it just depends on how much the couple cares about pictures, if that makes sense.
It does, yeah.
So some people want like a full like 10 hours, like, all right, I am starting my makeup at 8 a.m. and I would love for that to be captured all the way through like a sparkler exit where they're running out of the reception at the end of the day. And I'm there and we're capturing that too. So really, it just depends. I mix a combination of styles in. Since my background is in photojournalism, I do come in with a lot of documentary background. So I'm very good at becoming a shadow. It's like what I always say. And I am just kind of there and capturing like what's happening, the interaction between the people. My most recent wedding, one of the bridesmaids, actually, she looked at me, she goes, "Oh my gosh, you're everywhere." And I was like, yes, I am.
Just pretend I'm not here.
I'm not here, I'm nowhere. And so that way they can really like relive the moment when they look back at it, like the actual, here's what was happening in my day. And then I also mix in editorialized styled portraits. So like the stuff that you would want to frame and hang on your wall, because I don't know, that's just fun too. And so I'm there to both help them when they want that actual posing for couples portraits, and while also capturing the realness of the day. And for portraits, in order to make them not feel so like stiff and like we're standing here and looking at the camera, I use a lot of movement-based prompts. So a lot of it will be like, spin your partner, I'm gonna have you guys run towards me and then kiss, and things like that. So they're actually moving and having fun. And that is part of it, is that there are real emotions, real things happening, and we're creating the moment.
Love it. I love it. That's awesome.
Thanks.
So when it comes to hiring people, I'm very interested because you have just the way your background, you know how this works, you kind of understand what kind of helps you train, or like what are you looking for in an employee for your business?
Absolutely. My business is really small. And so it's primarily me, and then I have two other people kind of on my team on a contract basis, who, it's called in the industry a second shooter, but everybody hates that term, but it is what it is right now. So they come with me on the wedding day and help the whole way through. So like, if I'm photographing getting ready, they're photographing like details of things. And during the ceremony, like one of us will be kind of focused on one person and the other on the other, and then we'll switch. That way there's always like two perspectives of the same thing. And when I was kind of going through and hiring people, I posted a job application on all kinds of like random photography forums and also like Reddit. And I was like, well, just gonna see what happens. And I video chatted with about 15 people. And really what it came down to was I wanted somebody who would grow with me, if that makes sense. So they were also excited by it all. It wasn't like, oh, okay, like this is like what I do, my pattern, this is my formula.
Like what is my paycheck?
Right.
Yeah.
I wanted it to be something that we could collaborate with, while they also were like, okay, cool, like you gave me the instruction, like I can run with that.
Yeah.
While also being able to be like, hey, I have this creative idea. What's your thought? And I'll be like, go for it. So my primary second, her name's Erin, she's lovely, and she works really great with kids and families. And so actually she's kind of one of my like associates where when I get an inquiry about family photography, I'll actually often pass it to her and she'll do it, which is really fun.
That's cool. Because, I mean, even though, like, with your business, I come from a family business. I can understand, like, wanting to do everything, but you need help at the end of the day. But it is that journey of, you know, having someone give you new ideas, something that you haven't really thought about, and just trusting that process and being able to grow from that as well.
Exactly.
Both people.
And also someone who can both give and accept constructive criticism, because I always want to do better than what I am doing. Like, I'm always trying to do better. And so I need to be able to bounce something off someone. And I was mentored by a really lovely wedding photographer who I still do a lot of work with. And after I finish a gallery, I'll often send it to her and I'll be like, hey, what do you hate? And she's like, I don't hate any of it. And I'm like, no, what do you hate?
Yeah, and she's like, well.
So it's really nice to be able to have a community of people that I really honestly like love to pieces, but who can also like put me in my place and be like, Kieran, that's weird, don't do that. Or who I can be on the flip side and be like, I'm not sure that that's what we want. And they'll be like, yeah, you're probably right. And we'll like work from there. My wife also does assisting with me from time to time, which is always fun. She is very meticulous, and the first time she came and assisted me in a wedding, she read the entire 900-page manual for the camera she was using. I don't know anyone who's read the 900-page manual, including myself, though I've like, you skim the parts you need. Yeah, and then you kind of figure it out, what you need to know, and you YouTube the rest. And but no, she was there with the manual and asking me about settings that I did not know existed.
Interesting.
Yeah, I was like, I have a degree in this, and look at you go.
That's like when you ask somebody about, how to look at this book, and say, have you read the glossary? And it's like, no. I know it's there. No, I haven't. Well, how can people get in contact with you?
So my website is fingerprintphotostudio.com, and on there is a contact page, and you can learn all about me and my family and my process, and you can look at some wedding galleries from recent weddings I've done and elopements. And in addition, if you're planning a wedding, I have a whole section there to try and help out with that.
Awesome. Well, it was nice to meet you. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you. It's been lovely to meet you as well, Josh.
Did you have any just last minute words that you wanted to tell anybody?
Oh boy, I didn't think that one through. Honestly, I'm just happy to be here. So thank you so much for having me. This has been such an incredible journey of starting my business and rolling with it and seeing where it's going, and just the monumentous amount of joy that this has brought me and people, and how much love I feel and can give to the community just really makes it all, everything worth it.
Yeah, I'm glad you found that fulfillment.
Thank you. That's the word. There we go.
We come to it. Bit by bit we get there. But no, thank you guys for listening. Thank you for coming in again. If you want to listen to this and any other podcasts that we have, we are on YouTube and Spotify. Also follow us on LinkedIn and Facebook, BBB Central Virginia, or Ignite Sparked by BBB. Enjoy the rest of your day, everybody.
Ignite, sparked by BBB, where conversations are taking place to change the future.